Hello, everyone. It's Todd Milewski at the Kohl Center after a 5-2 Badgers loss to Michigan Tech in the opening game of the 2021-22 season. It was a game that started promising in a promising fashion for the Badgers. Caden Brown scored on his first shift as a college player. 73 seconds into the game, put the Badgers ahead. But it was a really ugly second period out of UW. I mean, starting basically right from the first shift, they were outworked. They were disorganized in the defensive zone. They looked like they didn't have awareness of where they were supposed to be going, what their outlets were, what their assignments were, and it quickly ended up being a 4-goal period for Michigan Tech, and the end of the night for Cameron Rowe, who started tonight's game but didn't make it to the end of the second period. He was pulled. Ended up with 12 saves on 17 shots faced. He said afterward he felt like he let the team down. Tyler Inamoto said he felt like the rest of the team let Cameron Rowe down and left him out to dry too many times. And the way that I wrote it, that was probably a little bit of both there. There was blame to share all the way around. It seemed like Rowe was off his game after, I don't remember off the top of my head which one of those goals it was, but he looked frustrated. He was slamming his stick, hit the post after one whistle. There was something a little bit off there, and when he was on last season, he was really on. When he had games where he struggled, they were struggles. I think it was now 3 of his last 5 starts dating last season. He's given up 5 goals, and in the other 2, he's given up a total of 1. So I mean, that's the thing. When he's playing well, he's going to be a really good asset for the Badgers. But he needs to avoid those nights where it goes downhill. And that's a little bit of what we saw tonight. The 3 stars of the game I gave all to Michigan Tech. The number 3 star, Alec Bretzman, a goal and 2 assists in that second period. The second star was for Blake Pietola. I'm going to say that wrong every time. Man, every time I'm going to say that wrong. 38 saves, 20 of them in the third period. And the number 1 star, I'm going to say it wrong again here, Logan Pietola. I don't know if that's right. I'm going to say it wrong. I apologize. Pietola. That's what it says right here on the line chart. So I'll go with that. There's been enough of them at Tech. I should know by now. He scored twice in the second period and had an assist. And this series continues Saturday, 7 o'clock start here at the Kohl Center, which was announced at with an attendance of 8,550 tonight. Obviously, fewer in the building. That's the way it always works. But for the first game back here, our first hockey game here in more than 19 months, still pretty nice to see it back, and nice to see the crowd here for a first weekend of the season. I would imagine there'll be more. There usually is on Saturday nights. More tomorrow. So, question from Brent: so was Caulfield the magic touch? That's without him as the team lost for the time being. And then Mo. Well, I don't know about Mo. Jared Moe came in and replaced Cameron Rowe and looked pretty good in the time that he had. But that's a little bit in relief. Tech had already scored 5. I don't know how much they were pushing later in the game, but Mo did look good. On Caulfield, I mean that's not much news, right? I mean, you lose the Hobie Baker Award winner, you lose 2 other All-Americans, and your top line center, and you don't expect things to be exactly the same, right? Or maybe we're talking about don't expect things to even be close. So therein lies the challenge for the Badgers this season. I mean, they know they're going to be a different team. They're going to look different. It needs to look better than this, though. Let's say that this was not the kind of game that I think, if you're a neutral or observer, gives you a whole lot of confidence in what the pieces are right now. I mean, you don't want to overreact to a first game, and I think that's maybe the biggest thing to take out of this. It's the first game. This team will be different in 2 months than it is right now, but they've got a lot to figure out, starting in the defensive end, starting with awareness, starting with the little things, the things that kind of have to be in place if you're going to be competitive in Division I hockey. And that's up to them to see if they can figure that out. And there were just too many sloppy moments tonight. I didn't even really get into all of them in the story that's on madison.com. I was thinking last minute of the second period, it kind of ended with a really bad line change, it looked like. I didn't see what all went into that. I'll have to look at the video after here, but that ended up with Michigan Tech in on a 3-on-1 break, and for the whole way it was a 3-on-1 break through neutral zone. They didn't score on that. Mo made a save on Parker Soretsky on that one, but it's the kind of things that just can't happen. The rest of them, there were rebounds for Rowe, and I think that was some of the frustration there. But they were outfought. The players in front of them, Badgers players, were outfought to the puck by Michigan Tech, and that's some of that is the veteran team, but it was also some of the veterans that were outworked in the defensive zone for the Badgers. So there's a little bit of the concern you take out of this going forward, even though you don't want to, if you're the Badgers, read too much into this. Obviously things to correct, but it's game 1 of 34 in the regular season, and we'll see what it looks like down the road here. Eric asked, did anyone talk about after the game about the numerous really good Badger shot attempts in the second period that weren't exactly whiffs but had zero gas? No, but I did kind of make mention of that on Twitter throughout it. There were 4 or 5 times where they just lost the puck. You fanned on shots. Zach Erdahl in the first period was bringing the puck up the left side twice and just lost the puck both times. Well, not both times, on 2 times he lost the puck. There were some bad passes out of the D zone. Just those small things that you wonder a little bit. I don't know if it, the temperature outside has to do with ice being bumpy. Didn't really see that both ways, so I would tend to not put a lot into that, but maybe that had something to do with some bumps on Badgers' chances tonight. Does Mo get the call Saturday night? I have 2 thoughts on that. One, I think they want Cameron Rowe to go back in and have a chance to make up for that. I asked him about that afterward, whether how big was his desire to get back in Saturday night and try to make amends for this one. He said pretty big. So that's one way you look at it. The other way is they wanted Mo to get in early this season. He got it tonight. I don't think this was the way that they intended on it working out, but it happened. He played well. Do you go with a guy that looked pretty good and see how he does in a start? I don't know which way I'd lean on that, and that's why I don't coach hockey, I guess. So I'd say this: I will not be surprised either way how that shakes out tomorrow, and we will find out together. So that is my plea for you to check in again Saturday on Twitter and on madison.com for a pregame post on who gets the call-in goal for that. And so before we go, I want to remind everyone we have a special on madison.com, $1 for 6 months. Gets you basically through the rest of the hockey season now to subscribe for a digital subscription for just $1. So please check that out. And we'll be with you here all season for Badgers men's hockey in these videos, women's hockey in all sorts of coverage as well. So we're planning on doing as much as we can to bring you complete coverage of both the men's and women's hockey teams here at UW. So that's going to do it for me tonight here from the Kohl Center. Once again, the Badgers lose the season opener 5-2 to Michigan Tech. We will talk to you Saturday night. Thanks a lot, everyone.